What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, CamATL, and welcome back to another NBA High Five video with your boy. Drop a like down below, comment anything in the comment section, and enter your name into the $50 giveaway I do every single week on this channel. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hopefully, you guys had, well, it's not just the end of the weekend, but hopefully, you guys had a good weekend, anyways. I don't know if I mentioned that in Monday's video, but anyway, let's go ahead and get into this Wednesday slate. First thing that obviously comes to mind is you've got Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton out. That's going to be a big bump to Giannis. Sorry about that. The only issue is that this slate's value is just not the greatest. Now, I'm going to work my hardest to try to find a way to get Giannis because Giannis is averaging almost 2 fantasy points a minute with Drew Holiday off. So he's got huge upside, as you can see with the 68 projected. He's got huge upside, and obviously, if you can, as the day goes on, if more value opens and all that stuff, go ahead and put Giannis in. I'm not going to put him in the high five, just because as of right now, I don't love the value. Um, and but I wanted to be clear that he is a solid option today. All right. So with that in mind, I wanted to be known. The reason I'm not putting Giannis in the high five is because he's obviously a play if you have the value. But the problem is right now I don't love the value, and it's 11 o'clock Central right now. So we're about midway through the day. Obviously, more information is going to come throughout the day, and if great value pops up, then Giannis is going to go in. But in this high five, I'm keeping Giannis out because as of right now, I don't love the value. There is one value that I like. There's a couple value options that I think are decent. The first one that I think is decent, I'm going to put in the core just because he makes things kind of work out fairly well, is Javon Carter at 3.9. Now, Javon Carter is interesting because George Hill's projected to start at point guard. Javon Carter's at shooting guard. OKC hasn't been the greatest versus shooting guard. So Javon Carter has the good matchup situation. He's got the bump with no Drew Holiday. And he is a decent option here. His usage isn't huge. His fantasy points per minute are right about like zero point 0.7 or so. You give him about 30 to 35 minutes, he should hit that 15 to 18 range. Maybe even the 20s, 23, 25, which is kind of what you prefer here. I have him around 23. You're hoping for around the 23 with the plus matchup and Drew Holiday being out, which I think is definitely serviceable. He could definitely do that. So if you round his price up to 4K, you need 20 for 5X. I think he has a chance at 6X. So when it comes to the value on this slate, he's one of my favorites on the slate. And I put him in the core because getting the right value is going to be key to being able to get, some good spots. Now, something that sticks out to me, and I'm going to talk about this player, and then I'm going to talk about who I like on the other side as to why I like this player as well. Jalen Green sticks out to me a lot. Toronto is the worst in the league at fantasy points. I mean, they're the best matchup you can have for as a shooting guard in the league. Toronto's giving up the most fantasy points to shooting guards this year. And Jalen Green is in a fantastic spot. There's still guys missing on Houston. He's only 6'1", so I need 36 for 6X, and I think that's honestly definitely doable. He dropped 49 in their last game. We know the type of usage he's had in this Houston offense this year so far. At 6'1", the price is just a little bit too low to me. You know what I mean? And the matchup's also great. So with them still dealing with injuries, with his price too cheap at 6'1" for his usage in the offense, with the matchup being the best you can ask for, Jalen Green sticks out to me at 6'1". And like I said, this slate kind of tells me it's like screaming to me mid-range as of right now. On the other side of this game, you know what? Let me talk about another guard. I really like guards today. Darius Garland going right back to the well here at 6'9". Garland's going against Sacramento. Sacramento's kind of not good versus point guards, not horrible versus point guards, but kind of just not very good. Let's just say not very good. They're not great, not bad, not average, a little bit above average at matchups when it comes to who like point guards versus them. Darius Garland at 6'9" is a solid option to me, and this matchup is a solid matchup. At only 6'9", once again, is too cheap to me. You round him up to 7K, you need 35 for 5X. He's hit that every game this year that he has played full minutes. 62 against Boston on November 2nd, 38 against the Lakers November 6th, and then 40 against the Clippers November 7th. This game is a solid spot to take some Garland. I love Garland at 6'9". His price should be higher than it is right now, and the matchup is good once again. So I'm definitely going with Garland. He is a fantastic option for me in this kind of mid-range balanced vibe I like on this slate today. Zubac at center at 6'6", another guy in that mid-range 6K range. That is a fantastic option. The matchup, you can't ask for a better matchup for centers this year. He already dropped 46 against them. You have Kawhi Leonard still out for the Clippers. Zubac is in a fantastic spot here against the Lakers, who struggle versus bigs. And it's just, yeah, his price is too good at 6'6 as well. Once again, you could round him up to 7K. You need 35 for 5X. I think that's a fantastic option today. All right, last but not least, to run back the Houston play, we have Siakam still out, obviously, and you can't ask for a better matchup for point guards than against Houston here. Fred VanVleet's in a fantastic spot for me. I have him at 45, which is if you round him all the way up to 9K, I have him at 5X. So I love him here. He's only 8-1. I think we're a lock for at least 5X minimum. I think 6X is a pretty good bet here. And like I said, if you're playing VanVleet, who is a good option today, I like the idea of running it back with Jalen Green on the other side, who's also got the good matchup here going in this one. So another Toronto guy that I have looked at a good bit is OG Anunoby, or OG. OG is a solid option. I love him in this one with Siakam still out. If you take Siakam off the floor and then you look at their games at home, OG has been really, really solid at home with Siakam out. So this is a fantastic spot for OG at 7K as well. So if you want a piece of Toronto, but you want to save some money, you can go OG. Gary Trent Jr. is another guy that's a fantastic option on here. So definitely interested in some Toronto, but that's about it, y'all. I got Javon Carter as the value. Him and Grayson Allen are value options that I'll be considering. As of right now, not fantastic values, but the best you can get is probably Javon Carter right now. Jalen Green against Toronto, best matchup you can have for shooting guards. He's got good usage in this offense. Ivica Zubac against the Lakers. The Lakers have been fantastic. I mean, a fantastic matchup for centers, so Zubac's great. Garland, plus matchup for him as a point guard against Sacramento, and still just too cheap. Fred VanVleet, you can't get a better matchup than Houston for point guards. So Fred VanVleet's a solid option, as well as those other Toronto guys that I've mentioned. And like I said, if more value pops up throughout the day, Giannis is going to be a fantastic option. So keep an eye on the value, because if you have value, Giannis is going to be great. All right. Thank you guys for joining me as always. GreenlightDFS.com. Join the squad. Appreciate you guys as always. I already posted my 2 favorite NBA prize picks on the NBA Access page for you guys. So go check those out. Go get those entered before they get bumped. Thank you guys for joining me as always, and I'm out. Peace.